Okay, sir.
Bhagwan. This is an interview for Il Manifesto, a leftist newspaper, which made very accurately and sympathetic reports about the latest events in America. And by the way, it's nothing to do with the Communist Party, because they're very critics against the Communist Party. So the first question, David, was your commune in America, Oregon, has been described both as an experiment of an alternative society and as an experiment of a real communism. Would you agree?
Yes, I agree. I agree totally. It was an experiment for both as an alternative society and as a higher quality of communism. The old society has some basic things on which it depends. There have been many critics of the old society, but none of them has succeeded to hit the very roots. They have been just pruning the leaves. So the critics have been criticizing, and the whole society goes on and on. Their criticism has not made any difference to it. The roots of the old society are hidden like all roots of all the trees. They are not available unless you dig deep. For example, the family is the basic unit of the whole society. Marriage is the basic unit of the whole society. Money as the means of exchange is very fundamental to the old society. A religious orientation, whatever the religion may be, but the whole society needs a certain religion. It is the opium that keeps the people asleep and drugged. in my commune, we were destroying the very roots. We were destroying the family. We were dissolving the family into the commune. The children were not going to belong to the parents. They could love them. They could meet them. They could invite them. But they cannot possess them. They have been only vehicles of bringing those children to the world. The children are not their property. The commune will take care of the children. Hence, marriage loses its relevance. You can be together with a woman or a man as long as you love. Except love, there is no other reason to be together. There should not be any other reason to be together. Because any other reason is going to be wrong reason. No law, no logic, no convenience, no respectability. The moment you see the love has disappeared, it is time to depart in deep gratitude, friendship, remembering all the beautiful moments that you have given to each other. Not spoiling it by fighting, quarreling, going to a court for a divorce. It is absolutely ugly. When there is no marriage, there is no question of divorce. When there is no marriage, prostitution disappears automatically. Prostitution is the shadow of marriage. It is the marriage in which love has died that creates the prostitute, the ugliest institution in existence. The old society forces the woman to sell her body for money. This is a crime which cannot be forgiven. And strange is the fact that all the old societies are against prostitution. And they are the causes to create it. And they can't see the simple logic. That when a man cannot feel love for his wife, and cannot enjoy her. She is no more an ecstasy to him. He tries to find, perhaps he can buy ecstasy, he can buy love, he can buy happiness, a desperate effort of a miserable man. In the ancient times, it was not possible for women to have male prostitutes, for the simple reason because they were reduced to such slavery. They had no right, no say how the society should be run. They had no money, but in this century, as women have become slowly financially independent, simultaneously a new institution has come into being, male prostitution. Now the woman is doing the same as man has been doing. She is also hoping, perhaps through money, those beautiful moments can be captured back which she has lost. But money cannot buy few things. It cannot buy love. It cannot buy peace. It cannot buy ecstasy. The whole society is miserable, but itself is responsible for all the miseries. Then there is the money as a means of exchange. And it is money that has created classes. The so-called communism created by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels does not take note of the basic fact. They miss the most fundamental thing. They want to distribute the money equally, but they don't see the point that it is the money which has created the classes. You can distribute the money, but then you will have to keep a continuous dictatorial state to keep the money distributed equally. Otherwise, soon there will be people who will be having more money and there will be people who will be having less money. Because to earn money is an art. To accumulate money is an art. To create wealth is an art. And everybody is not so talented. Soon there will be poor and the rich. But they did not see, they both were blind about the most important thing. That the easiest way to disappear is to take the money out of the society, that it is no more the means of exchange. Then there is nobody poor and nobody rich. There is no need to create a classless society. Just remove the money and the classless society comes into being. The commune should take the responsibility of providing the basic needs of the members. Everybody should get whatever is his need. And we had managed in our small commune of 5,000 people for 4 years. The highest quality of communism that has ever existed on the earth. It was an alternative society because it dissolved the family, it dissolved the marriage, it dissolved divorce, it dissolved the hold and possessiveness of the parents over children. It dissolved money. It made a classless society. It dissolved any need of a ruling class and the ruled. It created a functional structure. So the president was not more prestigious than the plumber. He was doing his work, the plumber was doing his work. It was possible that the plumber was doing a better work as a plumber than the president was doing his work. Then the plumber has to be honored and respected. Yes, our commune was an alternative society and a higher form of communism. And we have proved that it is possible. We were not only theoreticians, we have practically proved it. Against all odds, against the greatest, mightiest government, we managed to create an oasis in a world of misery. People rejoicing and dancing. People feeling completely unburdened of the whole past and unconcerned of the future. Those 4 years we had managed to give reality to a dream which man has been dreaming for millennia.
Has the fact you left America to be considered a failure of your experiment?
It was not a failure. It was an absolute success. We succeeded doing everything that we wanted. We managed to prove that whatever is our theoretical idea is practical. It is pragmatic. It is down to earth. That is our success. I call it absolute success, not in terms of time that it existed in only 4 years, but in terms that it existed at all. It was going to be destroyed. That is not something unexpected. It was going to be crushed. In fact, it threatened the greatest world power, that is its success. It challenged the greatest power, that is its success. That the greatest world power had to use illegal means, undemocratic means to destroy it, is its success. America has failed, not the commune. Otherwise, a small commune of 5,000 people, what harm it could have done to America? It had no nuclear weapons. It was not a danger to anybody. It could not have conquered America. What was the fear? The fear was not of nuclear weapons. The fear was not that this commune is going to conquer them. The fear was that this commune is transforming a dream which is hidden in every man's unconscious. That this commune is making something real that man has always wanted to experiment with, but has thought that it is a dream. And it is good to dream about them, but you cannot materialize them. We proved it. Anybody who thinks it was a failure is absolutely wrong. We succeeded in every way. We threatened the greatest power. What more success do you want? Such great powers are not threatened by small things. They don't take any care. They could have ignored, but they could not ignore. They had to take note of it. And they had to understand it clearly, that if this commune goes on growing, sooner or later it is going to threaten their very existence without any nuclear weapons. It is going to take away their youth. It is going to take over their people. It is going to take away their most potential powers, human powers. Then they can go on keeping their nuclear weapons. They will be of no use. The fear, the paranoia in the American government's mind against a single man and his small commune is a proof of absolute success.
Good point. If I should add another question, that means that there is no hope wherever people like you will try an experiment like this. Is it bound to be destroyed? It seems the old government are going to be afraid, and I don't see any way out. Like, if whatever this is going to be done, apparently it seems they're going to destroy it.
No, there is always hope. They can destroy one time, they can destroy 100 times, but they cannot destroy it always. Each time they will destroy, we will be creating more sympathy, more lovers, more people on our side. Each time a man like me will be jailed, you will find more and more people coming closer to our philosophy, way of life. This is how history functions. They will destroy a few times, but each time they will be weakening themselves and they will be strengthening us. We invite them to go on destroying till we are more powerful than them. And they cannot destroy anymore. And they have to commit suicide because nothing else is left for them to do.
we think that there has been some misunderstanding when you talk against poverty. In fact, it's being reported that you are against the poor. Will you please make it clear, are you against poverty or against the poor?
There is no misunderstanding. I'm against poverty. But without poverty, how can there be poor people? If I destroy poverty, I am destroying at the same time poor people too. The poor people exist through poverty. The misunderstanding is created by the people who would like to say that destroy poverty but love the poor. What they are saying is that the poor man can be still a poor man without poverty. They are trying to save Jesus. They are trying to save all the old religions. Because Jesus is not saying that He is for poverty. He is saying, blessed are the poor. But how these people can be poor without poverty? And if He wants these people to be poor, He is for poverty. Without any confusion, I am against poverty. Hence I am against the poor man. Because the poor man is nothing but a byproduct of poverty. Once the poverty is withdrawn, the poor man disappears. So there is no confusion. It is better I should say that to me they are both the same thing. But the distinction has been made down the ages, so I can understand what the question is. They have always said, condemn the evil, but don't condemn the evil man. But without the evil, how the man can be evil? That is beyond my comprehension. They say, destroy sickness, but love the sick people. But if you destroy the sickness, where you are going to find the sick people? To me, it is sickness that makes them sick. And if you are really destroying sickness, there is not going to be anybody who is sick. and nobody needs your sympathy. So I am against poverty and I am against poor man. I would like every man to be rich in all the dimensions of life. I am all for riches, and to me riches does not mean only money. A man who cannot understand the greatest literature of the world is a poor man, and I hate him. He is living unnecessarily. He is simply a burden on the earth. Either he has to improve, either he has to sharpen his intelligence, or he has no future. In all the dimensions, poverty has to disappear. And with the poverty, the poor man disappears automatically. The man remains. Just that ugliness of poverty disappears. I cannot say, blessed are the poor, blessed are the sick, blessed are the ugly. Just I cannot say, and I cannot tolerate anybody else saying this. I will condemn him, criticize him to my best. Because I want this earth to be full of beautiful people, multidimensionally rich, contributing more beauty, more joy, more blissfulness.
What are your advice to destroy poverty from the world?
My advice is very simple. First, absolute birth control for 20 to 30 years. On the other side, after 75 years, freedom for everybody to choose if he wants to die. Then he can simply go to the hospital and register himself that he has lived enough and now there is no point in living. And he wants to be relieved. So on the one hand we prevent the new people coming, and on the other hand we make the old people move faster in the queue. So the world population is reduced to almost 1/4 to what it is. Then the earth is plenty, rich, nourishing. Secondly, nations should disappear from the world. They are one of the causes of poverty, sickness, war, destruction, and misuse of technology, science, and the energy that man produces. We need one world. If we want to be rich, we need only one world. No political lines on the earth. Then it will be very easy to see. There was a time in Soviet Russia they were using wheat instead of coal in their railway lines, in their engines, because they had a bumper crop of wheat, and wheat was cheaper than coal, and they don't have many mines for coal. The whole East was dying hungry. They cannot eat coal. They have mines of coal, but they cannot eat coal. But the wheat is being used as coal. If it was one world, things would have been simple. Sift the coal where it is too much and useless, and send the wheat where it is needed. Don't burn it. It is not something to be burned when people are hungry. Just few months before in Europe, they drowned millions of tons of food in the ocean. And just close by in Nigeria, in Ethiopia, people were dying. In Ethiopia, people were dying in thousands because they had no water, no food. And in Europe, you are drowning food, fresh food, into the ocean. In fact, $100,000 were wasted just in drowning it. Because you need labor to drown the food. If the world was one, Ethiopia would not have died the way it has died. And it has been happening always. America goes on destroying its crops, drowning its food in the ocean, but will not give it to those who are dying. For the simple reason, because if you start giving food, then your own economy suffers. then the prices come down. And no country wants, particularly people who are holding the markets, don't want the prices to come down. And why they should bother about Ethiopia? Ethiopia or no Ethiopia, it makes no sense to Europe. It is good if it is finished. One problem is solved. We need one world. Just the idea of one world means tremendous energy involved in preparation for war, nuclear weapons, atomic energy. Millions of the best minds humanity has ever produced, all the scientists, all the technologists are freed to do some creative work. If they can manage atomic energy to destroy Hiroshima and Nagasaki, if they can manage nuclear weapons to destroy the whole world, why they cannot manage with the same energy to produce more food, to produce better clothes, to produce better houses, to produce totally a new kind of world which has never been dreamt of, which is now possible. Unpolluted, ecologically sane, there is enough food in the oceans. Just our scientists have to work on it. Very nourishing food can be found from the oceans. And ultimately, if science goes deeper into it, there is bound to come a time when science can create synthetic food, just as synthetic clothes, just as everything man can make, which will be better, far more improved than nature.